Tonight, find out what New Year's tradition will soon again be in person.
Why an ongoing police investigation is in Syracuse after a string of robberies.
And how Governor Hochul is doing more to protect your kids from COVID-19.
WTOP 10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I'm Matthew Carnevale.
And I'm Jocelyn Decker.
Governor Kathy Hochul announces 24 new #VaxToSchool pop-up vaccination sites to increase vaccination rates among school-aged New Yorkers. To date, 189 sites have been set up, passing Hochul's 120 12-week goal.
The Department of Health continues to work with local county health departments, community-based organizations, and healthcare centers to provide support to establish these sites in all regions of the state. New locations are established on a rolling basis. For the complete list of New York State pop-up vaccination sites, visit New York State's health homepage.
And we're targeting the communities with low vaccination rates among young people, particularly communities of color. And we set up a web page for parents. We set up all kinds of information. And I also said we're going to bring pop-ups. We'll make it so easy on you. And that's what you see behind me.
Governor Kathy Hochul released a new PSA to encourage parents and caregivers to vaccinate 5 to 11-year-olds against COVID-19. The 7-week campaign will air statewide in English and Spanish from November through January on television, radio, and social media. Hochul says the PSA focuses on alleviating concerns and reassuring parents and caregivers of the benefits of getting vaccinated. Over 150,000 children of this age group have already received their first dose of the vaccine.
Despite having the 6th highest vaccination rate in the country, New York State has recorded its worst COVID-19 outbreak since April. Cases continue to rise throughout the rest of the country as the cold weather drives people indoors, where the virus may spread more easily. Though hospitalizations and deaths were not recorded in higher numbers since April, New York's positive case rate has increased slightly, which has health officials bracing for such results.
Oswego and other counties in central New York are seeing higher 7-day average percentage of infection rates than others in the region. Oswego County, with the highest in the region, has 8.8 7-day average infection rates. County Public Health Director Young Chang Huang says there are 3 reasons for this: lower vaccination rates, waning vaccine immunity, and higher risk of transmission. As the Thanksgiving holiday approaches, public health officials urge people to get vaccinated and receive booster shots if they are eligible.
SUNY Oswego students and staff are invited to attend a forum on mental health, suicide prevention, and overall well-being. The event will feature presentations by Jamie Lazinski and Katie Mahaffey, both of which are Oswego alums. Questions and answer sessions, special offers, and networking opportunities will also be available for attendees. The college's Public Relations Student Society of America will present the forum on Thursday evening from 6:30 to 8:30 in the Marano Campus Center auditorium.
Local historians removed the decorative fennel from the top of the Richardson Bates House Museum after high winds rendered the building's crowning feature unstable. The fennel was installed in the 19th century, but due to winds and poor weather, the fennel's wooden and fiberglass base needed repairing. Oswego County Historical Society President Mary Kay Stone anticipates the fennel return to its home as early as spring of next year.
Sunday afternoon, Christopher Rogers and Crystal Abbott of Oswego County were pronounced dead after their vehicle crashed into a truck in the town of Mexico. The initial investigation found that their vehicle was heading west on Munger Hill Road when it failed to halt at the stop sign of the intersection. The vehicle then entered into the path of the Ford truck heading northbound on Route 3. James Weston, the operator of the truck, was unharmed. The situation remains under investigation.
Syracuse police are investigating the armed robberies of 3 convenience stores, all of which occurred over a 4-day period. A group of 3 males, at least one of whom visibly held a gun each time, were seen committing each burglary. The latest incident happened on Tuesday night, following the robberies on Monday and Friday evening. The men stole cash and other merchandise from all 3 stores. police wouldn't comment on if they believe the 3 incidents were connected, but our investigations are ongoing. Meanwhile, former Governor Andrew Cuomo could potentially lose out on millions of dollars as fallout from his sexual harassment scandal continues. The New York Joint Commission on Public Ethics voted to revoke Cuomo's approval to write a book about his early handling of the pandemic. The commission says Cuomo misused state resources by using his staff to help him write the book while in office. If he isn't reauthorized for a new deal, Cuomo may be required to repay millions of dollars to the book's publisher.
Mayor Bill de Blasio says the New Year's Eve event is back on, but only for the fully vaccinated. Alice Gaynor reports.
The ball dropped at midnight, January 1st, 2021, to a small crowd made up of invited first responders and essential workers. Everyone else had to watch it on their television, computer, or phone. But this year, hundreds of thousands of people can attend.
A big, strong, full-strength celebration. It's coming back this New Year's Eve. Times Square, everyone come on down.
If you're 5 years or older, you must show proof of full vaccination and a photo ID. Unvaccinated children under the age of 5 must be accompanied by a vaccinated adult. People unable to get vaccinated due to a disability will be required to present proof of a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours prior to the event. And anyone unable to get vaccinated must wear a mask if able to do so.
Each year, there's a security checkpoint for each reveler as they enter Times Square to take their spot for the event. This year, we will add a moment for each reveler to show proof of vaccination along with an ID.
As for why full vaccination is required outside,
when we think of outdoors, we don't usually think of being face to face with somebody, but that is very much, the reality of that beautiful Times Square celebration. And that's why vaccination matters.
We asked people in Times Square how they felt about the full celebration coming back, from the costumed characters to the naked cowboy.
I'm really excited.
I would like to see it this year. It's a good thing. It's exciting because it hasn't happened in a while.
Of course I'll come out. I'm from New York.
You don't have to wear a mask and a diaper because you're fenced in for hours until the ball drops.
As in years past, the NYPD says it's ready for the massive crowd on December 31st. Coming up, the FTC investigates strange activities surrounding climbing gas prices.
And a new vaccination in trial in Boston could make history. But first, our storm team meteorologist, Evan Beedron, is outside right now. Evan, how's the weather looking?
Thank you, Jocelyn. The weather right now is pretty windy, as you can see behind me with the leaves rustling in the trees. We have cooler weather throughout the entire day, along with high winds, and those can stick around into tomorrow. But tomorrow, be ready to get that rain jacket out because you can see a chance of showers, and I'll have your full forecast coming up after the break. Back to you guys.
Athletics, Aaron, there are 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire, but you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Hi, welcome back to WTOP 10. I'm your Storm Team 10 meteorologist, Evan Bedron. For your weather headlines for the week, we can see some windy weather up until the weekend, some rain and snow for the rest of the week, snow more and more in the morning hours, and then by the time the weekend rolls around, we can see that break in precipitation, but don't get too excited because the rain and snow showers will be back next week. And as we look for your temperatures across New York State, we can see in western New York, we can see temperatures in the lower to upper or mid 60s. But as you move further back towards along the lakeshore, towards Oswego, you can see temperatures in the mid to low 50s. And then up and towards the Adirondack area, we can see temperatures in the low to mid 60s or 30s. And then as you go down to the Long Island region, we can see temperatures in the upper to mid 50s. And for your forecast for tonight, you can see that chance of rain with temperatures around 50 degrees, winds generally in the 14 to 16 mile per hour area. And then for your day planner tomorrow, we can see at 9 a.m., we can see moderate rain, not too heavy, but as you move in towards more of the afternoon hours, we can see more heavier showers, maybe up to 1/10 of an inch. And then for 3 p.m., those showers generally back off a little bit more towards moderate rainfall again. And then for your bus stop forecast, make sure to send those kids off to school with a rain jacket because they'll see that light rain, temperatures in the mid 50s. And then when they head home, make sure to keep that rain jacket on because we'll still see the rain showers heading into the later afternoon hours. And then for your chance of rain, we can see as you move into Thursday, those showers generally start to increase after 9 a.m. on Thursday, generally tapering off more after 3 p.m. And then for your 7-day forecast, we can see windy weather, rain for Thursday and Friday. As you move into Saturday and Sunday, cloudy, generally pretty cold temperatures. And then as you move into Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, we can see the rain and then turning into snow just in time for the Thanksgiving travel. We'll have more news for you coming up after the break.
This job looks perfect. It says you need a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that.
Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Major Discussions is the new show that explores the stories of students right here on campus. I personally came here to SUNY Oswego for the broadcasting program because I love to hear people's stories and to do work just like this.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. The Alzheimer's disease nasal vaccine is beginning its first human trials in Boston. Brigham and Women's Hospital is testing the safety and efficiency of the vaccine aimed at preventing and slowing Alzheimer's disease. The launch of the first human trial of a nasal vaccine for the Alzheimer's is a remarkable milestone, says Howard L. Weiner, who is one of the lead researchers. The vaccine will be given to 16 participants, with hopes that if it goes well, it will go into larger testing.
America's drug epidemic is the deadliest it's ever been. Mandy Gaither has more on what health experts say needs to be done to change this trend.
It's a new record high. More than 100,000 people died of drug overdoses in the U.S. during the 12-month period ending in April, jumping nearly 30% from the same time period a year ago.
This is a national crisis. It knows no geographical bounds, and it continues to get worse.
The CDC says opioids continue to be the driving force in the rising overdose death toll. Synthetic opioids, primarily fentanyl, caused 2/3 of all drug overdose deaths in that time period. On a call, DEA Administrator Ann Milgram says her agency is finding these drugs in every state, reaching an unprecedented level.
This year alone, DEA has seized enough fentanyl to provide every member of the United States population with a lethal dose. And we are still seizing more fentanyl each and every day.
There are likely more deaths yet to be uncovered.
Dr. Trent Hall is an addiction medicine specialist at Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center. He says in his clinical experience, overdose deaths have not gone down since April when this provisional data ended. To change the trend, Hall says Americans need to be aware of local treatment and prevention resources for addiction, monitor friends and family for any signs of addiction, and be prepared.
Narcan kits are easy to obtain from your physician or local pharmacist and easy to use. As you can see, it comes in the form of a handy nasal spray.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Also today, the White House announced the release of a model law that officials say provides states with a framework to make naloxone more accessible to those who need it.
President Joe Biden has requested for the Federal Trade Commission to further investigate oil and gas companies for anti-consumer practices. Biden first asked the FTC in August to investigate possible illegal activities that were causing gas prices to spike. In a letter sent to FCC Chair Lina Khan today, Biden requested for the matter to be looked into further, saying that the commission, quote, has the authority to consider whether illegal action is costing families at the pump, end quote.
Jacob Chainsley, former actor and Navy sailor who is better known as QAnon Shaman, has been sentenced 41 months in prison for his actions during the January 6th attack on the Capitol. The sentence was handed down by Judge Royce C. Lambreth of the Federal District Court in Washington, bringing an end to one of the most widely publicized and strangest capital case. He joins more than 30 people who have been sentenced in connection with the Capitol attack.
The jury began a second day of deliberations in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. One of the victims was Anthony Huber. Tony Atkins spoke with his girlfriend.
25th, 2020. Hannah Giddings and her boyfriend Anthony Huber were here in Kenosha protesting the shooting of Jacob Blake. That night, Anthony Huber would be shot and killed. And tonight, as everyone awaits a verdict, I spoke with Hannah about the trial and what she wants to see happen.
That's an agitation. That's insensitive.
Tense moments outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse Tuesday. This as the world awaits a verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. For Hannah Giddings, it brings back feelings of when she last saw her boyfriend Anthony Huber.
Yeah, exactly.
As we walked to the courthouse Tuesday, she talked about reliving the moments when Huber was shot and killed by Rittenhouse.
It's been more traumatic than I really thought it would be. Like, we all knew the trial was coming, obviously.
The defense says Huber attacked Rittenhouse with a skateboard and he killed Huber in self-defense. The prosecution and Hannah say Huber was trying to disarm Rittenhouse. Hannah says she expected Huber's actions to be more of a focus during the trial.
I just feel like he was so underrepresented in this trial, and I don't think that's fair, because what he did was assess an active shooter situation, and he was just that type of man.
Had he succeeded in what he was doing, what would have happened, you think?
If he would have gotten that gun away, I think he maybe would have held on to it. I don't think he probably would have thrown it or anything like that.
Sure.
But his main goal was clearly to just stop this kid from running away from what he had just done, which was murdering Joseph Rosenbaum.
And no matter the outcome of the trial, Hannah says she wants to make sure that protesters continue to feel safe standing up for what they believe in. Reporting in Kenosha, Tony Atkins, TMJ4 News.
Kyle Rittenhouse's defense attorneys have filed another motion for a mistrial. If he is convicted of the most serious charges, he faces mandatory life in prison.
The House of Representatives voted to censor Arizona Republican Representative Paul Gosar for posting an animated video that depicted him killing Democratic Republican Representative and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez with a sword, calling the video a clear threat to lawmakers' life. Democrats argued that Gosar's conduct would not be tolerated in any other workplace and should not be in Congress. The vote to censor Gosar and remove him from his House committee assignment was approved by a vote that was almost entirely along party lines.
Coming up in sports, Alex Brooks.
Alex, can you give us a quick preview?
Yes, I can. Both men's and women's basketball squared off last night. We got Sabres and Rangers action in the NHL and KD versus Steph Curry in Brooklyn. All this coming up after the break.
We've been marinating chicken in all sorts of liquids for 24 hours. These are vitamins and minerals and things that you need, nutrients. The chicken speedy is a staple of our culture.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Good evening and welcome to WTOP 10 Nightly News.
For the governor race with a strong lead, former Governor Andrew Cuomo is...
Barlow announced the completion of a large building mural in downtown Oswego.
The renovations on the Hewitt Union Building, turning it into the new Hewitt Hall.
And as we move into tomorrow, that rain is going to be in our area.
Moving to the Diamond now, as Sweet Caroline got a lot sweeter last night.
Welcome back to WTOP 10 Nightly News. I am your sports anchor, Alex Brooks, and let's get right into it. The Oswego women's basketball team took on the Delhi Broncos in an absolute offensive massacre early Tuesday evening. The Lakers took an early half lead with strong performances by Diamond Pickett and Daniel Kaivana. It was an offensive eruption for the Lakers in the third quarter with the help of Elania Johnson with 10 points to extend Oswego's lead to 31 over the Broncos. With a final score of 75-39, the Lakers clinch their second win of the season. Moving on to the men's side of the court, the Oswego men's basketball team improves to 3-0 on the young season after a win over Clarkson Tuesday evening. It was an all-around hard-fought game that had the Lakers' offensive stout through both halves. The offense was on fire going into the second half, with Brendan Molson and Jeremiah Sparks both having double-digit performances. The Lakers were dominant in the rebound department with a total of 59 rebounds to Clarkson's 37 en route to an 82-67 victory to remain undefeated. From the college courts to the pros on the ice, the Sabres traveled to the Steel City to face off against the Penguins. With no action in the first period, goals were scored by Kyle Okposo and Colin Miller in the second to get the ball rolling going into the final period. It was a tough game to watch for both teams as the Penguins outplayed the Sabres all game but had nothing to show for it. A masterful performance by Dustin Kowarski, getting 45 saves to seal the 2-1 victory for the struggling Sabres. The New York Rangers hosted the Montreal Canadiens last night in a thrilling back-and-forth game. In the first period, the Rangers led 1-0 on a Capo Catco empty net shot, which was second straight scoring performance. The Canadiens and Rangers exchanged goals in the second and third period until Julian Gauthier scored his first goal of the season to help clinch a 3-2 victory, extending their winning streak to 4 straight games. Staying in the Big Apple, Golden State travels to Brooklyn to play the Nets on Tuesday night. Late first quarter, Kuminga passes it to Draymond, and Draymond throws an alley-oop to Jonathan Kuminga for the slam to put Warriors down 3. Next possession for the Nets, Bruce Brown with the rebound pitches it to Durant, and Durant banks a 3 to give the Nets a 6-point advantage. Curry, nope. Third quarter, Looney on a pass from Poole slams it to give the momentum to the Warriors. Up 19, the shot from the Nets doesn't go, a turnover, and on a fast break, Jordan Poole slams it down, and he and the Warriors are pumped. Late third quarter, Harden doing the best he can, down 20, banks a 3 to get the ball rolling. The Warriors were on fire tonight with a decisive 117-99 victory, and Steph Curry is back in the MVP vote.
Very nice. Alex, is there any more local sports events that we could be looking out for?
I mean, coming up, we have Geneseo's coming into town for men's hockey. It's going to be a very exciting game. I'm really pumped for it.
Awesome.
I am as well.
Sounds great. Any last weather notes?
Just make sure you have that winter jacket out. It's going to be staying cold, windy, pretty miserable out until next week when we get that chance of snow coming into town. Just be ready for that cold weather.
Alrighty.
That's our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Madcaps.
Thank you for watching. Have a great night, everyone.
Athletics. Aaron, there were 6 big points. This is the one you've been waiting for. This group has never beaten Cortland.
Getting started with some men's soccer as the Lakers had 2 conference matchups.
For half of the Lakers' goals this entire season.
Offense is key. You talked all about scoring goals.
Welcome to Understood.org, a free online resource for parents of kids with learning and attention issues, with personalized recommendations, tools, and daily access to experts to help your child thrive. Understood.org, because understanding is everything.